Hello.
Hi.
Hello, hello, hello.
Welcome to the Girl Movie Podcast.
Woo woo.
We are the girls. I'm Katie.
I'm Hannah.
And I'm McKinley.
Girl movie, girl movie, the Anti-Film Bro Podcast.
Let's talk about why we're here. Girl Movie Podcast is all about creating a space for the girls and the gays to hang out, talk about our favorite movies and our least favorite movies in a space that feels really welcoming and relatable and fun and not super academic, although we will probably talk about some things that are more serious or more academic at times, but in a more fun way. And we just want to share our love of movies and pop culture and all things girly.
Yeah, that was really good.
Sweet.
All right. So, intro of us and how we became friends is we met through a mutual friend that we all have whose name is Tally. And she kind of brought us all together. And now we are the core four. And yeah,
Love it.
love it.
Let's get into girl talk.
All right. What is our relationship to movies?
Okay, so my relationship to movies is I use it in a way to de-stress or even like just connect with people. When I meet someone new for the first time, I feel like the automatic thing I go to for a conversation starter is movies. I'm like, have you seen this? Have you seen that? Do you get this reference? They're like, no, no, no. I'm like, I don't know how to talk to you then. So definitely it's like a bridge to people is how I see movies.
That's beautiful. What about you, Katie?
I have been calling myself a movie newbie because I very much grew up a TV kid. And I could sit down and watch 6 hours of TV, but 2 hours for a movie felt like way too big of a commitment. But in my adult life, especially hanging out with this lovely group of friends, I have learned to love movies, but there are still a lot of classics that I haven't seen. So, listener, if you have not seen a lot of movies, you and I can watch some classics for the first time together.
Cute. I love it.
McKinley, my relationship to movies is it was always a way that I connected with my family. I remember that my family got Netflix DVDs from when we were getting mailed the DVDs like at the very beginning. And my parents would show me lots of old movies that they loved when they were kids or like that their grandparents or their, I guess maybe not grandparents, but their parents like showed them. And I remember I was also homeschooled. So sometimes they would have us like watch a movie and then write a paper as a little exercise, like a little writing exercise and stuff. So I've always looked at movies as a way to connect and also as a way to like understand the world better or differently and understand my perspective differently. I feel like it was a fun topic also with family and like I totally relate to what you were saying, Hannah, of to connect with people because it feels like you can share your opinions on relational dynamics or even like more serious topics, but in a lighter way or that's like not super personal. And I love that about movies.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Okay. What's everyone's role on the pod?
Okay. I am the graphic designer and the editor. Also, my specific subject that I'll be delving into on the podcast is aesthetics because I love an aesthetic. So I will be commenting on fashion, hair, makeup, set design from the movies that we watch.
Yay.
I love it. My role on the pod is behind the scenes curator, and also I go into like the lore and like the deep dive of like fun facts and some behind the scenes drama. And also, I've gotten to know a couple times that I have a knack to connect any celebrity to another celebrity. So we can connect some people together and see what comes up because it's always interesting to see how they correlate and also like what movies they work on together. Or there's always like overlap in Hollywood. So that's always interesting to see. And then also I do captions for our social media and I do our events, our special events.
Yay.
Hannah is also really good at, like, if you name a celebrity, she can tell you their lore or their gossip or who they've dated in the past and who those people are dating now. And celebrity expert.
Yeah, I would literally spend my days watching movies as a kid and then going on Wikipedia and like learning every single detail about them. I'm like, where are they from? What's their parents' names? Are they married? How many kids do they have?
I love it. Okay, my turn. This is McKinley. My role is podcast manager off screen. I own my own business and I'm an online business manager. So I bring those skills to podcast management. So making sure that we get everything out on time and know what's going on. Sometimes when we don't know what's going on, it's my fault. Um, and
No.
then I also do the video editing for our socials, and I'll bring history and basic facts for the podcast episodes, as well as astrology breakdowns.
Dream manager. I always say that.
Yeah.
Okay, our personal podcast wise.
I can go first. My personal podcast why is I have literally wanted to start a podcast for at least 7 years. I remember I've like tried to get different friends to start podcasts because I've always listened to podcasts, or like I found podcasts and started listening to them when I was going to community college, and I would listen to podcasts on my commute on the bus there and back. So when Katie said that she wanted to start a podcast, I said, hell yes, please. I would love to. And I thought it'd be fun to talk about movies and to hang out with my friends and to do something creative.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was experimenting with a lot of different hobbies and creative outlets at the beginning of this year. And after sewing, baking, I had half a day where I thought I was going to be a streamer, even though I don't play video games. I landed on podcasting, and I originally was thinking I'd make a sleep podcast because I was too scared for people to like actually listen to me. I was like, they could put it on and they can go to sleep and not really pay attention. But I brought that to you guys, and you guys were interested in making a podcast, and it's like my dream come true doing a creative project with my friends. I also love podcasts. I do a lot of driving at work, so I always have a podcast on.
Thank
That's
goodness.
great. Katie's our muse.
Exactly.
I've done my market research.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to jump on this project because I love movies. I definitely would describe myself as a cinephile, and it's hard to find a movie I haven't seen or haven't heard of. So this is definitely like up my alley category wise. I've also haven't done a creative endeavor like this before, and I was so curious in how the finished product would come out, and I love hanging out with my friends, and so I was like, this is like the perfect combination. I also like have a lot of coworkers who have said you should start a YouTube channel or you should start a podcast, because all I do at work is if I'm not like making coffee, I'm yapping. I just yap and yap and yap and yap. I'm like constantly like recommending movies. I ask about pop culture, all that stuff. So it's just fun to have the chance to do this professionally and with my friends.
Oh, yeah. Also, my why is I want to meet Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Cannot forget that. We're manifesting it.
Yeah. I was like, she has cancer. Does that help? No, she doesn't have cancer.
Oh my God.
You're like a make-a-wish.
Oh, that's crazy. And this is a good taste of what you'll hear on the Girl Movie Podcast. All right. Well, I would love to explain to everyone our podcast structure because it's a bit unique. Every month, we are going to pick a different theme of the month, or as we call it, our TOM. For example, for our first month, our theme is quintessential girl movies because how else could we start off the Girl Movie Podcast? Also, theme suggestions are highly encouraged. So, to start off each month, we do our Tom episode, which is where we introduce the theme and we talk about not a specific movie, but sort of a variety of movies under that theme, actors and actresses within that theme. We have some girl talk questions and shoot the shit. Tom episodes are going to be really, really fun. For the remaining 3 weeks, we each take turns picking a movie and hosting an episode.
Woo woo.
And in those episodes, you can expect a deep dive into that specific movie. Of course, McKinley's going to do her history and astrology. Hannah's going to give us some lore and celebrity gossip. And I will be talking about aesthetics. And it's going to be a fun girl talk time.
Yay. Okay. Well, that's the plan. Tune in June 9th for our first 3 full-length episodes. And like, subscribe, do all the things that you do with a podcast to support us. And we can't wait to share more with you.
We already started posting on social media, so you can look us up at Girl Movie Pod on Instagram and TikTok.
Woohoo!
All right, yay!
Thanks for
Yay!
listening.
Thanks for listening.
Get out of here.
Bye.
Get out of here.